I just don't know how to make people care. I don't know how to make people aware of the realities that we're facing. After the U.S. takes stake in Intel, Trump pledges many more deals. The president says he hoped to get as much as I can, signaling a shift in the relationship between government and private businesses. Like, if Bernie Sanders was doing this, they would call him Hugo Chavez. They would call him Stalin. Taking ownership of companies, and he's not paying any money. They're just giving it away. They're diluting their shareholders and giving hundreds of billions of dollars in value to the government. This is like a wealth tax of 10% on anyone who owns an Intel stock. That's what Donald Trump just did. Donald Trump said, do you own Intel stock? I just did a 10% wealth tax. And no one complained. And he didn't even pass a law to do it. That's incredible. 3 days after the United States agreed to acquire a stake in chipmaker Intel, Joe Biden passed the CHIPS Act, gave these people hundreds of billions of dollars and got nothing for it. And Donald Trump walks in a room and they give them 10% of their value. I'm sorry, folks. This is a different world. The difference in political power between Donald Trump and Joe Biden is a chasm. It's the Pacific fucking Ocean. It's hard to explain. It's hard to explain the level of power that he just fucking exercised, and no one is even saying anything. I feel like I'm taking crazy pills because I'm the only person who understands that this is a complete destruction of norms that have been in place in this country since 1946. We don't do shit like this anymore. The government just doesn't grab percentages of companies in America, in the West. And Donald Trump has such complete political domination over this country that he's doing something that used to cause fucking riots, doing stuff that used to cause massive political upheaval, Supreme Court decisions, and Intel is capitulating. The president's strategy came into full review on Friday after the administration announced that it would take a 10% stake in Intel, a beleaguered technology giant once viewed as the beating heart of Silicon Valley. The acquisition of Intel's stock is the most notable intervention in private business since the aftermath of the 2008 financial crisis. No, this is more than that. It's more left-wing than that. He's taking public ownership. Do you not understand that this is nothing? It's nothing compared to a bailout where you just hand people money when you buy their toxic shit with printed dollars. This is far to the left of anything Obama did. They're taking it. They're not even buying it. And just so you know, chat, they're doing it by consent. Intel is so intimidated, they did it without a fight. They gave away 10% of their company. They diluted the stock of everybody who owns Intel. This is a wealth tax, and they did it by consent. I mean, it's crazy. And I wish that a left-winger could do this. Like, this is something that I wanted a left-winger to do. This is what I wanted. When the CHIPS Act happened, I said, why aren't they owning part of Intel? They're giving them hundreds of... I said that years ago. Why are they taking part of Intel? They're giving them hundreds of billions. Why don't they get a percentage? Donald Trump walks into office and he takes hundreds of billions of dollars? Nobody is fired up by this. Nobody is flabbergasted by this. I'm the only one. I'm the only one who understands this. Everybody's just standing around like going, what? What's the big deal? This is a complete and utter sea change in America. And it's happening and no one even notices. People know so little about economics. They know so little about politics that this kind of extreme outcome is happening in front of them and they just don't even notice. They don't even care. The stock went up. Give us a plan. Give us a mission. Plan. I can't even get people to say, the Democratic Party sucks. Plan. I can't even get people to look at the Democratic Party doing a genocide and go, you know, maybe this party sucks. Plan. What, am I going to get you to grab a gun and fight? People whine about me making fun of a Democrat. Gavin Newsom, he's owning, I can't believe you leftists are attacking Gavin Newsom. He owned Trump on Twitter. What the fuck are you talking about? This is unironically MAGA communism.
Support this, support what we're doing. Please, hey, we'll take it because we got to get our message out. And the bottom line is that in our politics, you know that they're expecting close to a couple $2 billion in these elections coming out. And so that money is flowing everywhere. And until we address that issue and get campaign finance reforms, if you want representation that's going to represent your district, those people can't just go in there with empty pockets and just hopes and dreams. We got to understand there's a game being played.
I'm going to get permid. I'm going to get permid. I swear to fucking God, I'm going to get permabanned. Because this is a corrupt politician saying, listen, the game is I take bribes. And until you pass a law that we already had called the McCain-Feingold Campaign Finance Reform Act that was overturned by the Supreme Court, you fucking dumb fuck. And when I said 10 years ago, hey, we should probably pack the Supreme Court because the radical right wing is overturning our laws so that corporations can buy the fucking government, you dumb liberals said, that's bad, that's against the norms. I mean, somebody argued with me like 3 weeks ago about packing the Supreme Court. I said, hey, if the Democrats want to do anything, they got to pack the Supreme Court. And what happened? They were like, well, then the Republicans will pack the Supreme Court. As if they're waiting on us to do anything. As if there's some norm out there protecting us. People are still saying this dumb shit. You people, like, legitimately, it doesn't matter what they do. They're arresting green card holders because they said Israel bad. And these dumb liberals are like, well, we got to do a referendum before we can gerrymander California. Abigail Spanberger's going like, I wouldn't gerrymander Virginia. She's up 50 points in the polls. She won't promise to gerrymander Virginia. Like, these Democrats are controlled fucking opposition. And I'm spitting. I'm spitting because I don't, like, what the fuck is going on? I'm literally spitting. I just spat on my mic. Why? Nobody's mad. And these motherfuckers walk around taking money to do a genocide and they're fucking safe. No one's even yelling at this guy. There's barely anyone in the room. This guy's taking $11 million of bribes. He goes in front of you and says, that's the game. Got to pass a law. What, so he can get overturned again? I tried to warn people. I've been trying to warn people for over, I have been in this game for 13 years. And every single thing I said was going to happen, happened. Every single thing I warned about happened. Every single norm was violated. And I told you they were going to violate the norms. It fucking happened. I told you Donald Trump was not going to prison. He didn't go to prison. I told you Merrick Garland was a fucking loser. He was a loser. I told you Joe Biden was going to get nothing done. He got nothing fucking done. And these liberals completely do not change. They never change. They never change. No matter what evidence is brought, no matter how many times they're discredited, the exact right-wing Democrat, centrist Democrat, corporate Democrat strategy was tried in the UK, and it has been an utter disaster. Everything they said right-wing Democrats said we should do, they did it in the UK, and the approval rating of the Labour Party is 13%. 13%. A fascist far-right party called the Reform Party is going to win a massive majority. I mean, and how do you get people to change? At this point, I don't know. I've tried cajoling. I've tried persuasion. I've tried evidence. And people are legitimately fans of Gavin Newsom. Have you been to California?
Politics is a game that's being...
Have you been to California? They can't build a single railroad across flat agricultural land. The Transcontinental Railroad. I want you to understand something, chat. The Transcontinental Railroad, built from 1863 to 1869. It took 6 years to build a transcontinental railroad with 19th century technology, and California cannot build one railroad from San Francisco to LA. And you want Gavin Newsom to be our standard bearer? You want Gavin Newsom, the man who has been in 2 terms in office, who has gotten nothing done, whose cities are unaffordable, whose cities are choked with trash and garbage and filth? Have you walked the streets of Los Angeles, California? Have you gone downtown? Have you driven around the highways, which are crumbling? It's Southern California. It's 75 degrees every day. It rains once a fucking month. And there's potholes. They can't do anything. And people want me to say Gavin fucking Newsom. They've been trying to build high-speed rail for 17 years from Los Angeles to San Francisco. 17 years. Next election, an infant that was carried into the ballot box by their mother to vote for the high-speed rail will be able to vote themselves, and they haven't connected Bakersfield. And none of you are mad. None of you are fired up. None of you are like, these people deserve to be buried underneath the jail. Billions of dollars wasted. Donald Trump seizing power in this country. Nobody gives a fuck. Democrats do a goddamn genocide, and people tell you to ignore the genocide. This is a more evil, self-centered, and incompetent country. Donald Trump is our perfect avatar. He is what we are. He is us. And I don't want you to give distance from yourself from Donald Trump. He is you. He represents you. He is America. A fat, obese, narcissistic dullard who doesn't know a fucking thing, but who thinks he's the most important chest-beating fuckhead in the planet. There is not one scrap of redemption to be found in how this country has been run for 50 fucking years.
Played, and we can sit back and be righteous and say, no, we're not going to do it that way. And we can keep losing. And you know what? That's what we've been doing. That's why we've lost, even though we have the majority as far as Democrats, registered Democrats, and registered Republicans. We have a minority of states, state houses in the country. They have a majority, just had a super majority in the state house in Jeff City. They got the House, the Senate, and the presidency in Washington, D.C. Listen, we can't just sit back and just be like, oh, well, we just going to just keep doing what we doing, and no, we're not going to get involved. No, we can't do that. And so I hear what you're saying, and that's why I stay accessible. I'm going to come out in the community. I'm not going to shy away from tough stuff. We knew.
Only 6% of Democrats think Israel is more sympathetic than the Palestinians. You could find more Democrats who believe angels are literally real. There are polls that show Donald Trump is more popular than Israel among Democrats. Thinking about the ongoing conflict between Israel and Palestinians, are your sympathies more with Israelis or with the Palestinians? 46% of Republicans say Israelis. 49% of Democrats say Palestinians. Both equally has the rest of the Democrats. Thinking about the ongoing conflict between Israel and the Palestinians, I mean, like, look at young people. 18 to 34, it's 58% more with the Palestinians. Only 24% of Republican young people like Israel. Israel can't even crack 30%. And we're letting them do a fucking genocide on our dime. We don't live in a democracy. And this is, look at this. I've been talking about this for years. The Democratic Party is in full-blown collapse. But we have leaders who are wanting
Trump's approval.
AOC and Bernie Sanders are wanting, let's be honest, let's be frank, let's be clear. AOC and Bernie Sanders are fucking losers. We have one guy, Zoran, who has any balls. We have Summer Lee. We have Rashida Tlaib. We have Zoran. We have barely anybody. And Bernie Sanders and AOC with their pathetic capitulating to Joe Biden. The most shameful, discrediting crap at the DNC. And then the defense of Iron Dome funding. How the fuck is that real?
Ratings are in the toilet. But Democrats may be in big trouble, too, especially with the midterms already looming. An eye-opening report from the New York Times reveals the party has been absolutely hemorrhaging voters. In fact, of the 30 states that track voter registration by political party, Democrats lost ground to Republicans in every one of them from 2020 to 2024. The Times are
Democrats are not popular anywhere. They're not even popular in the places that they have complete control, because when you give the Democratic Party complete control, like they have in California, they don't do anything with it. They don't have success. Vote blue no matter who is California personified, and they can't even build a fucking single railroad. They can't build public transit that doesn't suck shit. They can't provide housing. I mean, what can you even say?
Reports that four-year swing toward the Republicans adds up to 4.5 million voters, a deep political hole that could take years for Democrats to climb themselves out from. Basil and Cameron are still here at the table with us. Cameron, I'm going to go.
Why is this Cameron guy being promoted? I know he went on Hassan's stream, which I think was a major mistake by Hassan. I just want to go out there and say it. He's being promoted because he's a right winger. He's in the bulwark and he's a right winger. So he gets promoted everywhere. There is absolutely nothing more pathetic than a centrist Democrat shill on MSNBC. I'm so glad this shit is dying out.